Let's bring in our guest, the former senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Senator Dino Melaye. Senator Melaye, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and good morning, Nigerians.
Just to
correct you that there are no former senators.
No, not a problem.
Always a senator.
All right. But let's get to the issue, Senator Melaye. I looked at INEC portal. INEC had 3 documents in front of them. The Court of Appeal judgment with those consequential orders after it dismissed the suits, the interlocutory appeal by the Senator Mark and the rest of them. The letter from Nephew Gombe saying that they should not recognize or correspond with Senator David Mark-led NWC, and of course, the letter from David Mark's lawyer saying, look, your definition of antebellum or whatever it is, there was a leadership prior to the institution of the suit. And so whatever happens before the war should be what hell holds. Well, INEC has taken his own position, and they listed their national chairman by court order. That's the name written there. National secretary by court order. National treasurer, and everything is by court order. Do you agree with the decision of INEC?
I will start by saying that what happened yesterday definitely motivated by the ruling political party is not about ADC. It is not about one political party. It's an affront on democracy. Every Nigerian should be concerned that democracy of this country is about to be destroyed. I don't want people to myopically look at it from the fact that it's about ADC. No. It's an attack on democracy and democratic institutions in this country. If someone had told me that we would descend to this ebb, I would definitely argue it, because I do not see any sane institution taking over the responsibilities of the court instead of being an arbiter, a referee. You see, the pronouncement that INEC is working on is simple. The Court of Appeal made what in law we call preservatory orders, directing parties to maintain the status quo antebellum. And what is status quo antebellum? Status quo antebellum refers to the last lawful, uncontested, and legally cognizable state of affairs before the crisis, before the dispute. And what is the state of affairs before the dispute? You have in your possession documents where the character in question resigned, Nephew resigned as Deputy National Chairman of ADC on the 17th of May 2025. So a man who voluntarily resigned signed his resignation on the 17th of May 2025, suddenly resurrected months after. And this resignation was accepted by the party. This resignation was communicated to INEC. INEC also certified. We have a certified true copy of INEC on the 10th of October 2025 of this resignation. So, a man who is no longer an executive or official of the party, where does he generate the locus to even sue the party and claiming that he ought to have taken over as acting chairman? And even by the constitution of the party, He was not the deputy national chairman politics, because the person to take over is deputy national chairman politics. He was never deputy national chairman politics. And as at the time he was instituting that case, he was not an executive, national executive or official of the ADC, because ab initio, he resigned his appointment as the deputy national chairman. And I'm telling you that we have truly certified copies, and I saw that yesterday Kenneth, brandished that copy here on China's television. So I know China's is in possession of the certified true copy of his resignation. But what is happening is that the APC have become so desperate. The APC have seen that ADC is the only opposition we have in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to challenge them in 2011. And they've seen exodus of movements of people from various political parties into ADC. And me personally, I'm shocked why they are panicked. You said you have 32 governors, you have taken over then why are you afraid? So, in a nutshell, it is not about ADC. It is about democracy. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu wants to be coronated. He doesn't want election. He just wants to be coronated. He wants us to practice a monarchical system of government, a KBC mentality, where he will just be coronated. And even from what is said in 2022, 2023, we can see from it that a man who said, "It is my turn." No Democrat will tell you it is my turn, because it's not a monarchical system of government. It's not a chieftaincy title. In democracy, there's no turn. A man who said, "Grab it, take it, and run away with it." Is that a democratic language? That's a mafia. It's a mafia language. Only a mafia will talk like that. No Democrat will talk like that. So the tendency of not being a Democrat was manifested early enough, but Nigerians did not see it. All right. Tinubu is a totalitarian. And what they are trying to do is to stifle power by force. They want a one-party state. They don't want election. They just want to be coronated. Right. And it is practically going to be impossible in Nigeria, because the battle to rescue this country from these economic cankerworms, from these scavengers, from these criminals in power, is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. We are going to fight this with every legal means. We are going to be on the street. We are going to do everything practically possible to make sure that democracy continue to remain. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and not greediocracy like Tinubu is trying to interpret it.
Senator Melaye, I'd like to, appeal to you to use your words cautiously. The ruling party spokespersons are not here, to defend themselves. So when we refer to them in derogatory manner, it leaves more to
take on them.
It leaves more to be desired. But let's look at what may be the remote causes of this, which some have condemned as the, Gestapo manner in which the David Mark-led group of the party took over the party, which was challenged at the time. We recall presidential candidate Dumebi Kachiku, who in fact went to court after speaking several times on the media about how the takeover was illegal. And some of them quoted the constitution of the ADC. Well, we know that there are some ongoing amendments, with the new leadership of the party. But what was quoted at the time was from Article 23 of the ADC Constitution, which says, if a vacancy arises in any party office, the appropriate executive committee shall appoint a replacement from the same zone or constituency as the outgoing office holder. So Mr. Nwosu voluntarily resigned, but he's from the southeast, and Senator David Mark is from the northern part of the country. And so is this self-inflicted, the manner in which they took over and what has now come to befall them as the fate of litigation in court?
That is absolutely not correct. The truth of the matter is this, that the party is self-regulated by the neck of the party. And the truth of the matter is very simple. Nothing illegal. The case by Kachuku went to court, and you definitely know what the court said about it. and how he lost out in the court. Already, there is a decision on that matter, and that is why it is dead and buried. So, I mean, courts took a decision on that matter, so I won't go into the nitty-gritty. But I want you to understand that the decision of the NEC of the party, the powers of NEC to regulate the affairs and activities of the party is sacrosanct. The NEC met, irrespective of any provision, met and took a decision that is not against the letters of the constitution of the party. So it is not about that. You are looking at it from a very vague point of view. What we should be looking at is that INEC misinterpreted what the court said. The court said status quo. Antebellum should be maintained. And what is the status quo? Before Matthew went to court, the status quo before Matthew went to court is that David Mark was the chairman of INEC, of ADC. Adegbeshola was the secretary of ADC. That was the status quo before Rafiu went to court. And that is what should be maintained. And even if you are saying that that is not what it is, then the worst scenario is for Nwosu to come back as chairman. But for INEC to deliberately, maliciously, nefariously live by their own thinking, ADC without leadership, is an affront on democracy, and which will not be tolerated. And they went ahead. For you to know that there is a malicious, capricious intention, they did not just say they will not monitor any of our activities again. If you are saying the chairman and secretary, we have means of taking care of that. The party is not deregistered. The party is not deregistered. So why will you now say that you will not monitor anything that we will be doing from now henceforth? And again, let me tell you, if you go by the provisions of the new Electoral Act, INEC does not have approval powers over our congresses. What is there is monitoring. So whether they are there or not does not invalidate the programs and activities of ADC. They want a distraction. We will not be distracted. All our activities will continue as planned. And this country belongs to all of us. We will not allow one man to force his ideas, his opinion, his totalitarian tendencies on Nigerians.
Right.
It will not happen. And the problem with this is that this government, ab initio from inception, lack legitimacy. Even with all the rigging, Tinubu won with 36% of the vote cast. Even in his village where he came from, Irakwiji in Osun State, his original place of birth, 36% is F9.
Well,
Atiku,
Senator Melaye, as you said
and,
earlier on,
Obi put together
right,
have over 60% of the votes.
Right, as you said earlier on, these
Buhari
matters have been decided in court.
He was losing the election with 12 million votes.
Right, you said earlier on that matters have been decided in court, and you wouldn't want to speak to them. This has gone through the court process, and I know that you understand that, being a legal practitioner yourself. But I'd like us to walk through. I'd like us to walk through the court documents which you referred to together, so Nigerians can get a better understanding of what is at play here. So, if you agree with me, Mr. Nafi Balagombe approached the Federal High Court Abuja on September the 2nd, 2025, to begin that process. Am I correct?
You say Nafi approached the court to do what?
September the 2nd, 2025 was when he approached the Federal High Court Abuja.
22nd of?
The 2nd of September 2025 was when he approached the court Abuja.
Yeah, correct.
Yes,
correct.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Now, do you agree that INEC received a letter for the upload of the name of Senator David Mark and former Governor Ralph Adegbeshola on September the 4th, 2025? 2 days after that.
That's not correct.
When was it received?
That's not correct. The upload was done on that date, but the letter was
on what date,
preceded that because and
on what date did you say the upload was done? Which of the dates?
I'm coming to that, please.
Right.
I'm coming to that. Before you even get there, because these things have processes, and we must be logical about it. Nephew resigned on the 17th of May. He went to sleep. He did not do anything until it was induced by APC in September.
All right, Senator Melaye, you've made that point. So let's stay on this now. So when did you say INEC received?
What happened between the gap between
right?
May
So when did you say INEC received? You said INEC received it on that date. What date did INEC receive the correspondence for the upload?
I may not be able to tell you exactly, but it was not it was not in September because our NEC held on the 29th.
Okay, so here's the
of July.
Let me read on page 4.
And immediately that NEC ratified the position of chairman and secretary and others. INEC was immediately communicated.
All right, so let me read.
That NEC meeting was on the 29th of July, 2025.
All right, if you could just give me a moment, Senator Melaye. On page 4, paragraph 11 of INEC's communication, it says, the request through a letter dated July the 29th for the submission of the names of the new principal officers of ADC for upload on the Commission's portal was received by INEC on September the 4th, 2025.
That's what I'm saying, that is grossly incorrect.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was approved.
The upload was done in September.
All right, let me kindly let me land, Senator Melaye, so you can respond. So you can respond to this in wholesale. And it goes on to say it was approved by INEC on September the 9th, 2025. That is what INEC says. So the upload and approval, INEC says it happened on September the 9th. So in view of this, if the court is saying status quo antebellum, if it went to court on September the 2nd, and prior September 2nd, INEC says it had not approved or uploaded, wouldn't that then mean that for INEC, antebellum means before
that is what I'm telling
it approved?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that it's absolutely wrong. Because the NEC that produced David Mark and others was on the 29th of July, and that meeting was monitored by INEC, and INEC was communicated immediately. So if an event took place on the 29th, INEC monitored it, INEC was present, and we communicated INEC. Understand? So why would a case filed in September? So if you are talking about what preceded, already David Mark became chairman of INEC on the of ADC on the 29th of July after the ratification by NEC. So that preceded is going to court. And I'm even saying that he have no locus, there is no jurisdiction going to court because he resigned as deputy national chairman on the 17th of May.
So, Senator Melaye,
May
are you saying, pardon me, are you saying, Senator Melaye,
officer of the party, a man who have resigned from the party, INEC we have certified true copy of INEC accepting his resignation. So APC ratified
here's a question, Senator Melaye.
Accepted it. So what locus does he have to go to court?
So here's a question. Are you saying that your friend, Professor Josh Amokweton, has been compromised?
I am not going to personalize these issues. And it is not about, like I told you, for me, INEC in this matter, because Josh Amokweton is not INEC. INEC as an institution have failed Nigerians. INEC as an institution have taken side with a letter written by a man who is no longer an official of the party, who voluntarily resigned on the 17th of May. Who voluntarily resigned on the 17th of May. And you should ask the meeting that took place in Lagos, including head of body of courts attending. Go and see what my respected brother Ndika Kalu said about it. And that preceded, that is where the decision to hit this hammer was taken. But they are joking because we are not going to take it. Enough is enough. This country belongs to all of us. Government is not owned by those in government. Government is owned by the people. And we will prove that the people own government. And that Nigeria belongs to all of us. And that ADC will participate in this election and defeat Tinubu come May 29th. What is the desperation? What is the fear? Why is he afraid of election? Why is he? They've disabled PDP, they've disabled Labour, they've disabled SDP. Just because you want to have a coronation, just because you don't want election. So you want ADC also to be dismantled. It will not happen.
All right, Senator.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Governors are joining us. Senators are decamping to our party. Our activities will continue. And I assure you, APC will be defeated come 2027 by the special grace of the Almighty God.
Senator, I'm happy you're a lawyer and also a lawmaker. I say there's no former senator. What will hold is what the court says. There are 3 consequential order of court. For me, the most important was not even the antebellum, which is debatable now. Everybody is having their own interpretation of the same ruling or the judgment or order of court. The very first order of court, that suit number B, and is hereby granted accelerated hearing in view of the electoral timetable released by the 4th respondent. That is the only window. We can scream, we can argue, we can threaten and all of that, but the appeal court has forced by this order now say to the trial court, you have to do something as quickly as possible because of the election. So what action is the ADC taking legally? Because that's what matters.
Yeah, we have responded legally, and we have other suits to file. And as I speak to you, we are even going to criminalize the activities of the officials of INEC, because this what they have done is criminal, and we are going to face it from a criminal perspective in court, because it is complete disobedience of the court order. It is explicit, it is clear, but for them to give it a Jankara interpretation and to suit their own purpose, knowing fully well that registration is ongoing, knowing fully well that congresses are ongoing, and you want to leave us leadershipless so that we will not be able to participate in all, we will not be able to conduct all our congresses and even run primaries for us to produce people who will contest the election. They are joking. They are joking. This country belongs to us. We will pursue it legally, and we will also use all rights within the framework of law. We will not accept it. And there will be no coronated president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And should the judicial system run slow and you're unable to have a final, definitive, verdict in your favor before the electoral timeline, what would now be the option left to the ADC?
Yeah, there will be, as I promise you, that there will be a world press conference by 2 o'clock this afternoon by the leadership of the ADC. I will not want to preempt that press conference, and I want to assure you that every detail concerning our next move and our decisions will be expatiated, enumerated, and lucidly explained during the press conference at 2 p.m. today.
Senator Dino Melaye, when this whole round of legalese and litigations and adjudication is done, we would like to have you, let's talk the real politics. Right now, it's about how your party can weather this storm and get out of the situation.
I'm waiting to sit with anybody from APC.
Yeah, we will.
See how shamefully they will speak on these issues.
Senator Dino Melaye, thank you so much for coming on the program. We appreciate you, sir.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.